have been exemplary all week. Parents, give yourselves a raise. You have done a wonderful job with them. They just could not have been better. So let me tell you a little bit about their conductors and their percussion specialist. They've been conducted by Dr. Chris Knighton, Director of Bands here at the University of Arkansas, and Chris Harris, Band Director from Owasso, Oklahoma. And their percussion specialist is Mr. Tim Clifford. He's from the Tulsa area. And you will be treated to the following: The City of Lights, Andrew Watkin; Sun Chaser, Carol Britton Chambers. Within the Castle Walls, there are 4 movements by Brian Balmages, and Hopek, Ukrainian Dance by William Owen. Ladies and gentlemen, please, an enthusiastic welcome to the Honor Band and Maestro Chris Harris.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Henderson, and I'm one of the head counselors at the Summer Music Camp. On behalf of the other head counselor, Laura Jean Merrick, and all of the counselors back at the dorm, we want to say how wonderful your kids were this week and how much we've enjoyed taking care of them. They seem to have had a great time, but are probably looking forward to some sleep in their own beds. And if you've been here all day, you know, so am I. Summer Music Camp has a process that allows us to find leaders among the campers and then bring them back next year on a half-tuition scholarship as a captain where they will help us over at the dorms. We have several captains from this ensemble, so we ask that you please hold your applause until all names have been called. Students, if I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Joy Sander from Owasso 7th Grade Center. Blake Linsenmeyer from Stillwater Middle School. Claire McGavick from Owasso 7th Grade Center. Miles Cooper from Washington Junior High, and Molly Francis from Don Tyson School of Innovation. Thank you very much.
So it's always our job to educate these kids, but sometimes it's good to educate the audience. So when we have a multi-movement work, and if you're a musician, you know this. If you're not, here's your coaching. And if you mess this up, it's not a big deal. Okay, it's really not a big deal. But we want you to know when there's a multi-movement work, it's going to sound like it stops 3 times before it's actually the end. And if you can resist holding your applause, please do. Here's the hint. If my baton is still in the air, the piece isn't over. When my baton goes down to my side, that's the clap time. Got it? Okay.
What do you think about this band, ladies and gentlemen? Aren't they amazing? I mean, they sound spectacular. Woo! Well, a time-honored tradition here at Summer Music Camp is we ask the faculty at the 8 o'clock Sunday morning meeting, first thing, keep your eyes out, keep your ears open for the best, the finest, the cream that rises to the top, the most outstanding. And that's pretty difficult, especially when you got an honor band of 90 kids this spectacular. But you got to do what you got to do, right? So there are going to be 3 awards given to this band. We call them the Robert M. Bright Award for Outstanding Musicianship. There'll be a woodwind player selected, there'll be a brass player selected, and there'll be a percussionist selected. The good news, ladies and gentlemen, these next 3 names that are called will all carry a full scholarship to next summer's music camp. That would be full, and you're going to get a beautiful certificate. And as soon as we get the trophies here, I've been telling everybody it's the tariff problem, but we will get them here, and we will get them to wherever you live, I promise. Don't know how long, maybe next summer camp, but we will get them to you. So to present the Robert M. Bright Outstanding Musicianship Awards to the finest woodwind, the finest brass, and the finest percussionists from the Honor Band, please welcome the Chris's, the conductors of the Honor Band.
I have to echo him. We hate this part. These kids are amazing. These kids are the future. We need to vote them into public office. They are ridiculously awesome. And I hate just picking one. We had lots of discussions. I hated doing this when I was teaching band. To have to pick somebody out of a crowd is never comfortable. So just know that we really cherish every single one of them. But we do have an outstanding woodwind. And the outstanding woodwind player is Jocelyn Zhang. The outstanding brass player is Andrea Bissell. And to delay just a bit on the percussion, I'm going to take advantage now to introduce our percussion specialist. It's always great to come back to the University of Arkansas. It's even better to come back when your percussion specialist is a person that you taught back in the day in high school. I'm a percussionist myself. I know how hard it is to gather equipment, kids, organize, get them all going where they need to go. And it's always a big shout of joy when I see that Tim Clifford is the percussion specialist for the band that I'm working with. So a round of applause for Tim. And I said that so that he could actually give this award because he's worked closely with the percussionist. The outstanding percussionist this year is Mateo Munoz Rodri. We will close with one last selection.
What about that honor band? What about a standing ovation, ladies and gentlemen?